Let's do this!
And I'm the captain.
We were wondering.
Were we?
We were wondering about some of our favourite guitar tones of all time and space on planet Earth, or they're still in space. I was looking at some of the greatest tones mankind has ever produced, Lee. I'm looking at people like Jimmy Page, people like...
Where's that dirty noise coming from?
Bang! Greetings, I'm Rob Chappers.
And I'm the captain.
And welcome to Anderton's in the UK and Guildford, the only place that doesn't mess around and just gets videos done.
Absolutely, the home of great presenters, great guitars and minorly annoying background noise. But hey, we're professional, let's just get on with it.
I've been wondering about some of the greatest tones ever recorded on planet Earth.
Have you?
And what made those tones so great?
Well, you know, was it the guitars, was it the amps, was it the players, who knows? Or was it...
the strings? I don't know, that might sound crazy, but I've been listening to Brian May, Billy Gibbons, Jimi Hendrix, Jimmy Page.
Yeah.
You know what they got in common?
They're all called Jimmy. Well, two of them were.
Some of them, half of them, 50% of those artists are called
There
Jimmy.
it is. That's the secret. Damn it.
Hi,
so
I'm
simple.
Jimmy Chapman.
And I'm Jimmy the captain.
And now we've resolved our tone issues and no longer need to buy anything at all. They all used 8-gauge strings or lower.
Or lower.
Some of them used 7-gauge strings. And a stonkingly cranked valve amp.
Yes, well, absolutely. Although, of course, some might say one of the greatest guitar tones of all time, Mr. Stevie Ray Vaughan, he used about the heaviest, he used bridge cables for his guitar strings.
Now, I'm going to go out on a limb, it is a Chapper's limb, and say that I'm not a massive fan of his tone.
Hang on a second. Hello? We need a new presenter for Captain the Chappers. I can't work with this guy anymore.
No, I think he sounded good, but I don't think he sounded mind-blowingly amazing.
Wow. You see, I'm of the opposite opinion, which is that he is one of those guitar players in that very, very small one that when you hear him go, you just go, that's Stevie Ray Vaughan, because no one else sounds like that. But,
right. What about B.B. King?
Well, him the same, but a different noise. Really?
Brian May, 8s. Wow. Billy Gibbons, 7s. There are so many incredible, brilliant guitar players that have incredible tone. The guitar players amongst themselves would say, arguably had some of the best tone on earth. Yeah. He's 8s.
I must admit, I can't think of anybody other than Stevie Ray Vaughan who's known for using mega heavy strings. No. Apart from, of course, Rabir Massad, who uses really heavy strings, albeit very heavily.
Well, I use the same strings as Beer, and I don't think...
You don't count.
I'm not saying for a second that Ray Vaughan had a bad tone. I think he had good tone.
Ray Vaughan? Are we on to me and Ray Vaughan?
But I don't think he was better than Billy Gibbons.
Clarify as well, because when you say Ray Vaughan, you could be talking about Jimmy. And personally, I don't think Jimmy's tone is as good as Stevie's.
What I'm saying, just to classify...
another bloke called Jimmy.
Oh yeah, this really is something.
That's a conspiracy.
What I'm saying, I don't think Stevie Ray Vaughan had better tone than Jimi Hendrix, Billy Gibbons, B.B. King,
Well, so... the point of this video, just bring it back on track,
is just to get as many comments as possible from saying outlandish things like this.
And please comment below, back me up. Who else is famous for using heavy strings? But look, so Rob's got a Les Paul, I've got a Strat. They both have 10-gauge strings on at the moment, which is a relatively normal set of strings to have on here. But Rob is going to go down to a set of 8-gauge strings, which I think, are they there on the table?
They're here underneath my behind-the-scenes camera.
And I'm going, are mine over there as well?
Wait, this is 8, 11, 14, 22, 30, 38.
Otherwise known as, limp strings. Extra
limp
slinky.
strings.
It's like, anyway, and could you pass me the set that I'm about to put on this Strat? So I am going to man up with the appropriately named Not Even Slinky. Shall I go to that camera? Camera trois. Not Even Slinky, which are 12, 16, plain 24 for the G, 32, 44, 56. So essentially, it's the same as Rob's set, except all up one. So what Rob is using for his B string, that's right, his B string, I'm using for my E string, and anyway.
Well, not quite, but close. So, A, it's about two things.
Yes.
It's about, as Peter Honore pointed out earlier, and he's completely correct, it's not just tone, it's feel.
It's absolutely
Because, for example, Johnny Hyland uses 9 to 42 in drop C sharp, and that guy can play anything.
He can.
Anything at all.
Just for editing purposes, I'm just going to play this guitar through, there's no pedals, straight through the amplifier here. It's a sort of a slightly dirty sound. I'm going to play it with the strings that are on it, the 10 gauge strings that are on it, and then through the power of magic of editing, you're going to hear me play the same thing with Not Even Slinky strings.
Exactly the same licks.
If I can remember.
Ten gauge strings. This is my tone.
So as you have seen by the magic of super fast cam, Rob and I have just restrung these guitars, and we're going to attempt to play the same lick sort of that we were playing before. We haven't touched the settings on the amplifier. The only problem here is that as about 3 minutes have passed, Rob and I's short-term memory can't remember what the lick was.
And also my little microphone's turning the wrong way. Hold on. Can you still hear me? Is that right? Can you, if it was to hear?
So here we go. Pretty sure I was on position, is this 4 or 2?
I'm going to say
2, I
it's
think,
2.
isn't it? Yes. Yeah. But I guess if you're watching this and you've just seen that I was on a different position, sorry.
It's the B string E.
Sounds different to me. Sounds much bassier.
Yeah?
More muffled, like it's overloading the amp more. And it's hard to play. And these aren't even what Stevie Ray Vaughan did. He was on another gauge up, wasn't he?
He used to use those, and sometimes you get a 13s, but not very often. So
I reckon you'd probably get used to it eventually, but it's really I mean, the thickness of the strings just feels utterly different under my fingers.
What made things easy, he had massive frets.
Did he?
And massive hands.
Did he?
And massive balls.
He was much better than I am.
it's absolutely not lacking any low end. It does sound different.
Different is the
it
word.
Doesn't
the D word.
necessarily
Different.
sound bright.
You know what it sounds like? It sounds like a Fender Jaguar does when you pick one up next to a Fender Strat.
Yeah, it does.
It's just that less string tension in the
hoopy.
In the string. Hoopy
and
is
you can
the
do
word.
things now that you couldn't do before. So, for example.
In an utterly pointless and unscientific way, because these are two different guitars played by two different players plugged into two different amplifiers, let's just do a bend at the same place. So I'm in E flat, by the way, because it's I just couldn't
play
this.
the note you're going to bend to.
I'll play.
I've got a lot more. I've got a lot more sustain.
Which is obviously, impossible because the only thing that makes a difference to the way a guitar sounds are the pickups. But, how's that happen?
Play a bit of Stevie Ray Vaughan then.
I can't, can I? But
Let's swap over.
oh, yeah, have fun.
You're gonna love those.
You first.
It's all right, man.
Sounds great.
But it's kind of what I use anyway.
Do you know what I'm feeling? The moral of this entire story?
Yeah.
Is it's absolutely nothing about the kind of tone that you want to go for. It's all about
The feel.
the feel.
Yeah, it is. I think you're right. Because the thing is,
Because you just compensate for, don't you?
Yeah.
Tweak the amplifier, turn it, or you end up with a certain style.
now I should say this guitar needs a truss and intonation setup. We haven't done that.
No.
So it's not intonated and it's bowing dramatically. I mean the amount of that you could put a pick under that.
Yes.
Well, a thick pick, by the way. But Pete's laughing, saying it's fine. But it does sound. Sounds monstrous, man. Forgot it was a drop D. tune now, mate.
I should clarify, when I said that it doesn't affect the tone, I think it does affect the tone. What I mean is that I think the player chooses the string
that feels
the best, and then that just becomes their tone.
Interestingly, change amps, just amps. So you put that through my amp and try a bit of Billy Gibbons' Dirty Blues, mate. Crank it on the neck.
Do you know what? I'm actually, the more I'm playing this, the more I'm beginning to go, no, maybe it is a mix of tone and feel. Because there's a certain, this is sounding a certain way that does sound different when you've got 10s or 11s on a Les Paul. Not in an unpleasant way, just in a different way.
And if you do like a nice kind of...
That first tone control on there is the mid boost, by the way, so if you've wound that all the way up, that should be all the way off if you want it to sound like a Strat, yeah. All the way
right.
I bet you can't do that with that.
Where did you start from?
15th fret on the B.
Oh, so drop down a semitone and do the same thing? Not quite.
Oh, you're going to lacerate your hands.
Nah,
be careful,
mate.
man. Anyway, look. We've wasted enough of time with these good people's lives. What was the point of this video again?
What's better, 8s or 12s? Yeah, the answer's yes.
The answer's yes. 42 is the answer.
You know what? I spent a whole month playing 9s in drop C sharp because I've been having a chat with my buddy Johnny Highland, who's an incredible guitar player. Check him out. He uses 9s in drop C sharp, and he was like, you know, Rob, I don't have any problem with 9s in drop C sharp at all. He can play anything at all. And I was like, you know what? If Johnny Highland, B.B. King, Billy Gibbons, Jimi Hendrix, Jimmy Page, Brian May play 8s, and some of them play, and Yngwie, some of them 8s in E flat, it's probably doesn't really make a difference.
Go. So, as a result of that, are you going to change the gauge of string that you use?
I am now gauge agnostic.
I'm not going to change. You know, I'm quite happy putting 10s on a Strat and usually 11s on a
10 to 52s. I've always used 10 to 52s.
Yeah.
You know, Betancourt used 10 to 52s. That's all you need to know.
So there we go. What we have basically proven is that Rob and I are utterly closed-minded, not open to change at all. And despite the fact that we've now experimented with different things, we're going to stay the way we were. And on that bombshell...
Yes, I've been Chaffers.
And I've been the captain.
See you later.
Bye! Hey everybody, thanks for watching the Anderton's Guitar YouTube channel. If you're a drummer or a keyboard player or interested in music technology, you might find one of our other channels interesting, and I'll put details of those in the description below. If you want to find out more about the products we've just featured, please click here. If you'd like to buy a t-shirt like this, please click here. If you want to watch another video on our guitar channel, click down here. And to subscribe to our guitar channel, click here. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next time.